going on, guys? Matt Schaeffer back here from Musaic with another audiophile build for you. This one a Hi-Fi 3 Plus in a 2026 BMW M5. So let's go ahead and check it out. Starting with the trunk, we did this really cool modular subwoofer enclosure. This is a little different than the kind of stuff that I've built in the past from a design standpoint, but I thought it was very fitting with the design of this car. So essentially we have two Focal Utopia M 10-inch subwoofers that are down firing in this enclosure. Enclosure for the trunk size is actually pretty tiny. The subs, again, down firing. All right, so if you're looking at the enclosure design, the first thing you're going to notice is the whole front of this is rounded. I basically curved the Russian Baltic birch to create that same contour, and then I use that as a jig to heat bend all of these different inserts that you can see here. So this piece of acrylic started out flat, everything is heat bent over. Every material that you see, from the black Alcantara suede to the red leather to the black acrylic, all of these are the factory materials that you'll find on the inside of this car. So from a design standpoint, when you're looking at this, all of this looks 100% factory. The front here is going to actually be a grill. So this is a vent to allow the air from the subwoofers to vent out of the enclosure. Same thing with the rear of the enclosure. There is a vent on the opposite side that's more unobstructed, and that's going to allow air to flow from the bottom of the enclosure into the cap. Now, with that being said, in the factory panel behind here, we're going to have the factory subwoofer enclosure. That was fully removed because obviously we added our own. That then allowed us to have space in order to install our amplifier rack. So we have a Helix V18 DSP amplifier that's going to run all the speakers in the car active. And then we have a Helix P1 amplifier, which is going to be our mono amplifier that's going to power both of our Utopia M10s. In this car, because it is electric, we did not use any kind of interface module, any kind of preamp. So we did basically a one-for-one high level out from the factory amplifier into our DSP amp. And that is basically going to ensure that all the factory options still work as intended. So we do not lose anything when it comes from the factory signal standpoint. Factory preset in this car we made sound really awesome. It sounded way better than I ever envisioned. We also have a secondary preset that's going to be preset 2, which is going to be an HEC BT that's going to dock directly to our DSP amp. So that is basically going to take information from our phone, the Bluetooth, send that directly to the DSP amplifier. It's going to bypass any factory processing, and it's going to give us the best digital signal to our DSP amp. And where that comes in handy is like if you're using CarPlay. I can be connected to the car and the DSP amp at the same time. I can select on my phone, I want the audio to go direct to the DSP amp. Meanwhile, the car and CarPlay is still functioning like factory. So I can see everything on the screen like I'm using it from factory, but the audio is going direct to the DSP. That's how you're generally going to use the system in a real world scenario. Preset 3 is the Astel & Kern SP4000. I'll show you that here shortly when we get inside the car. To finish off the rear here, everything fully sound treated with a combination of hush mat and sound shield. So we had to do some extra stuff that we typically don't on most cars. There's a heat shield on the bottom of this that kind of runs the whole underneath of that car. We had to isolate a lot of the metal on metal scenarios underneath the car to make sure that when the subs are playing, there is no resonance anywhere back here. So now let's go check out the inside. Most BMWs have always been the same. This one was actually a lot different. A lot of times you would always find the mid-bass driver underneath the front seats in the floorboard. In this case, I'm assuming because it's the plug-in hybrid and this isn't maybe a new way they're going, but in this case there was a factory enclosure inside the front door panel for the mid-bass. There was no underseat woofer. So that's the first obstacle that we had to overcome, because as you can see here in this video, that mid-bass is perfectly engineered to fit behind this door panel, and it doesn't use any normal size speaker. So there is no upgrading the speaker. You basically have to engineer an entirely different solution than this. So like we did with the rest of the car, we 3D scanned this area and we created some very perfect fitting mounts for our Illusion C8 mid-bass woofer. We use this woofer. I mean, they're discontinued, but we still have some, which is a great solution for this area because they're not very deep. So we could keep that speaker as far back from that start of the door panel as possible. We did have to cut some sections behind where the speaker would go. That way we can let the rear of this door panel, where the window is, become our vent or area for our enclosure for our mid-bass woofer. We installed the speaker adapters, fully sound treated the area to ensure that the whole area is a resonant free area, and of course turning this whole area into a full enclosure. So that's how we attack the mid-bass. As far as the mid-range, we fully intended on doing new pillars, and we couldn't do that in this case because these pillars, there is a large vent here at the base of the pillar to obviously like defrost the front windows. So with that being said, the vent starts here and it's this whole area. So there was no doing a mid-range speaker up here in the pillar, because anytime you have a mid-range that's here in the lower part of the door, obviously like it's firing right into the steering column. My leg is here, and again, there's just a lot of area that's blocking this mid-range from ultimately sounding like it's supposed to come up from up top the dash. So when you do pillars, obviously it's a lot easier to contain that image here in the center of the dash and not have it move, especially as you're moving here underneath the steering column. So we did the mid-range in the factory location. We used the 3.5 WM to integrate it into this area. And then same thing with the factory tweeter that you can find up here at the top of the door panel. That housed a 1-inch dome tweeter. Obviously the Utopia M tweeter housing, the aluminum housing, is a lot larger. Therefore we had to make a little bit of modification to get that to perfectly fit in up top. But we're using factory locations, so visually in this car nothing has changed. Everything from the factory options work perfectly through preset 1. Again, preset 2 is going to be our HEC BT direct to our DSP processor. Preset 3 is going to be our Astel & Kern SP4000 player. This is really going to give you the return of the investment of the good equipment that you're putting in. So obviously the system is going to sound drastically different on this preset versus the phone preset. And the best way that I can describe is the width of the car, the depth of the car, and how isolated all the different frequencies, where the separation of everything that you're hearing in the music is going to be much different, right? Everything gets bigger, larger, and it makes you feel like you're sitting in a bigger room. So it's going to give you a better sound stage entirely when using something like this versus more compressed media on a phone, or especially the factory radio. So all of this is integrated in. We have our 3.5 mil, which we would use for our player. This is going to be our Helix conductor DSP controller right here. If you notice this also looks like a factory option. We 3D scanned the side of this car, created this 3D pod, finished it off in smoked acrylic. So again, even the display LCD lights of the controller is illuminating through the smoked acrylic, so it looks like a factory option. And of course, when I'm sitting here, my arm naturally rests right at this area. So you're looking at the main volume here in blue, which is going to match and be programmable to whatever the factory dash lights are. I can hit this once. That's going to be our subwoofer control, which again is going to tell us how much signal we want to our sub enclosure. Hit that one more time and that's going to show us our presets. So again, everything is just very streamlined, integrated, and in this car like a factory option. Obviously you could do a more straight line, streamlined install and not focus so much on the stealth. But at the end of the day, when you buy a car like this, everything's so integrated that, you know, when you install a nice audio system, you want that to feel like a factory option from BMW. And that is exactly what we did with this car. The sound quality in this car came out, you know, way better than I expected, because I think my expectations are based on most BMWs where that mid-bass driver's underneath these seats, and when you can get them in front of you, not under you, and do kind of a larger speaker that can handle a little bit more power than them underseat woofers, all of a sudden you're going to get a pretty big difference in how much mid-bass can be played within this car. So this car did a great job of just that. And it's kind of the reason why I've always hated doing BMWs, is just because there's a few things that are going to really constrain you and that is generally always the mid bass, in my opinion, underneath the seats. So in this car, sounded completely awesome. Now, if you look back here, obviously we have the ski pass down, and now we can see the area in which the subwoofer enclosure is going to vent into the cab. That rear tray is going to be fully sealed, so there is no utilizing any of the rear speaker holes or vents to have that area vent into the cab. So with that being said, ski pass comes down, air is going to move from this area. You can also see there I left a gap in the rear to allow air to move unobstructed from underneath the sub enclosure right into the cab as well. So it does not go through a grill down here, it just goes through an open area that is in the rear of the enclosure. That grill you're going to find back there on the other side, which you've already seen. But again, matching leather, you can see how well, like when it's folded down, it just looks like an extension of the seat. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for, of course, watching these videos, supporting the channel. If this is your first time seeing a video on the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the alert bell letting you know anytime we drop a new video. Obviously, make sure to comment. It really helps out the algorithm, and we would really appreciate that. Make sure you check us out on TikTok. We'll drop a lot of videos on here well before they make it out to YouTube. A little quicker and faster to edit through there. So if you want to see the content first that we drop, find us on TikTok. Also Instagram. We'll do a lot of reels in the same format. If you want to contact me for a job like this, here is my phone number followed by my email address. These are the two best points of contact for me. So if you want to get a hold of me, you have questions, whatever it is, this is my best contact information. Make sure you check out our website, musaicdesign.com. This is going to be a one-stop shop to see every vehicle that we've ever done in one easy-to-find place. You can search by make, manufacturer, job type. You can see the full build log, every YouTube video attached to that, the write-ups, everything from this one area. You can also see all the testimonials of people like this and what they say when they get their system back. So check out our website. It's a great source of content for all of that. Also, make sure you check out our podcast. We have a podcast called the Old Fashioned Car Audio Podcast. This is going to be a great source if you're a installer, a shop owner, a do-it-yourselfer, an enthusiast. Doesn't really matter what your niche is. If you like anything in this industry, there's going to be stuff in there for you. You know, even if you're a salesman, doesn't really matter. There's going to be plenty of content in there for you. There's also going to be a lot of good guests, engineers, manufacturers, older icons in the industry telling you their stories. No matter what, there's going to be a lot of great content that I'm sure you'd be entertained by. So again, check it out, Old Fashioned Car Audio Podcast on Spotify. And like always, guys, I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the follow. And
until next time, peace.